So let's take the same concept that we've learned for text on a path with open paths and now apply it to closed paths. And in a minute, you'll see what the difference is. I'm going to start off again on a blank document. I'm just going to draw out a circle. So we want to put text on a circle. So I'm going to take my type tool here. Now here's a difference where I need to use a keyboard shortcut. If I move my type tool closer to this object, see how I get this little parentheses that appear around it? Well, that means that by clicking now, it'll convert this shape to a frame for area text. So the text will now flow inside of the particular shape. I don't want that. I want the text to basically travel along the path outside of the circle. So to do that, I'm going to hold down my Option key or my Alt key. See how now the icon changes to the path text tool? Now when I go ahead and I click, it causes that to happen. When I clicked over here, my cursor is all the way on the other side. Why did that happen? Well, let's take a look for a minute. I'm actually going to press undo for a second. And maybe we want our text to be at the top of the circle. So I'll hold down the Option key and I'll click once over here. And now I see my cursor's on the bottom. Let's just type in for a second here. Same thing like before. Surfing is fun. Why is it down there on the bottom? Well, my paragraph text right now is aligned towards the center. And remember what happened when I went ahead and I clicked on the path text with an open path? I have basically a start and an end point, right? Let's see where those start and end points are now. I'm going to use my direct selection tool and take a look at that. Where I clicked is where I basically define where my start point is. And because a circle is a closed path, there's no end. The end basically is back wherever the start is, right? So where is the exact center between the start point and the end point? All the way down here. So this is the reason why Illustrator puts the text here on the bottom. I wanted to make sure that we first talk about how to put text on an open path first to get that concept down. Now, basically, we can go ahead and we can see why Illustrator is putting it down here. I could use this inverted T icon over here to click and drag and reposition this at the top of the circle if I wanted to. But now, again, it's important to realize the start and the end point is down here. I could, of course, also just adjust the starting and the end points itself and adjust it that way. So, for example, let's highlight the text here. Let's kind of adjust just one of these here, for example, and say the start point is here and the end point is here, and that way the text will be centered along the top here. So that's one thing that I could do. I could also, by the way, flip my text to the inside of my circle here just by dragging underneath and moving it that way. So that's how you would basically move the text along the path in this regard. So let's just leave it as it is right now. Let me press undo to go back to where it was. Let's scroll back over here. I want to cover one other thing which people do often. They want to be able to put text on the outside and also on the bottom of a particular circle. Let's say the top and the bottom of the circle. In Illustrator, there's no one way to do that. You need to actually create a copy of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my regular selection tool, take this, choose Edit, and then choose Copy. And then I'll choose another setting here called Paste in Front. If I would just choose Paste, it would make a duplicate, but it wouldn't put it in the exact same place. Paste in Front means it's actually pasting a copy or creating a clone, I guess you can say, of this particular object right in front of it. So now I have two of them. On the second one, I could actually take this, maybe move it down here to the bottom, flip it to the inside of the path, and then type maybe here, Hawaii, USA. So maybe I can do something that way. And if I wanted to actually extend it out beyond the edge of the circle, though, how would I do that? Well, I would change the baseline shift. So what I'll do is I'll actually take my type tool, select the text here, and then I could either go to the character panel and adjust my baseline shift here, or instead I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut for adjusting the baseline shift of text. And that's going to be the Option, Shift, and then down arrow. If you're on a PC, that'll be Alt, Shift, and then down arrow. And that will now adjust the baseline shift to extend now towards the outside of the circle. So now I've created the effect of the look that I wanted. I have now Surfing is Fun on top, Hawaii, USA on the bottom. But remember, I needed two shapes to make that happen in here inside of Illustrator.